Hi booktube! If you're new here, my name is the Book Mage, and if you're not, then welcome back to my channel. Yeah, I think today it's finally time to do a video that I've been dreading for a while now. I recently just did a pretty big book haul and I really need to sort out my shelves and reorganize things a little bit, and I figured before I did that, before I destroyed them completely, I would finally go through and show you every single book that is currently on my physical owned TBR, so any book that I physically own on my shelves that I have not yet read. This is in fact therefore my entire TBR because I don't read ebooks or audiobooks, so this is it. And this way, when I put my shelves back together and fit all these new books in, I won't then have to destroy them filming this video after the fact. So I think it would also be good to do this at the start of the year, maybe at the start of every year. I don't want to say that and force myself to do it next year though if this turns out to be horrendous, because then it's a good way to keep track of all the books that I had at the start of this year, and then maybe going forward every year see how that number changes, which books I did and didn't read, which books I've acquired, that sort of thing. Maybe it's just me that's interested in that. But the way that I'm going to do this is a lot of my books are not in a regular order. I place books where I like them, but sometimes I will have different editions of books by the same author placed on different shelves. And I'd much rather just go through and display the books as and when I get to them on the shelf, rather than trying to clump all the authors together or do that in editing. I just don't want to do that. You might see the same book or different books from the same author popping up at different times. That's just how I'm doing this. It also means there might be a lot of camera changes, angle changes throughout this video. I can't really control that because I'm going to have to get up and swap position a lot throughout this video, so it's just something we're going to have to deal with. I won't show you all of my shelves, but this is what we're kind of dealing with at the moment. They're a mess, and I do have an additional bookshelf here which I will not show you. It is horrendous. It's my manga shelf, but the drawers behind me are full of books, my bedside table drawers are full of books, and a hidden compartment behind my desk is also full of books. So this is going to be a lot of moving things for me. But yeah, without any further ado, I think I just have to get on with it because otherwise I will be here forever. So with that all out of the way, here is every single book I have on my TBR. Paladin of Souls, Penrick's Travels, and Penrick's Progress by Lois McMaster Bujold, The White Tower by Michael Weishart, A Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, and A Storm of Swords, all by George R.R. Martin, Dragon Slayer, Knight of the Silver Circle, and Servant of the Crown by Duncan M. Hamilton, Sight Witch and Wind Witch by Susan Dennard, Circe by Madeline Miller, If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, Uprooted and Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, Illumine, Gemina, and Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, Stranger of Tempest by Tom Lloyd, Before They Are Hanged, and Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, Red Seas Under Red Skies, and The Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch, The Painted Man by Peter V. Brett, A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, Strange the Dreamer, and Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, The Shadow of What Was Lost, An Echo of Things to Come, and The Light of All That Falls by James Islington, The Unwilling by Kelly Braffett, The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, A Touch Against the Night, and A Reaper at the Gate by Saba Tahir, The Name of the Wind, The Wise Man's Fear, and The Slow Regard of Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss, Drowned Country by Emily Tesh, Artificial Condition, Rogue Protocol, Exit Strategy, and Network Effect by Martha Wells, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, The Black Hawks by David Ragg, The Measurements of Decay by K.K. Eden, Gideon the Ninth, and Harrow the Ninth by Tamsin Weir, The Night Angel Trilogy by Brent Weeks, Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, The Queens of Innislea by Tessa Grattan, Skyward and Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan, Blood Witch by Susan Dennard, The Spider by Leo Carew, The Book of Tokyo, edited by Michael Emmerich, Jim Hinks and Masashi Matsuye, Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami, Voices by David Elliott, The Winter Road by Adrian Selby, Sword of Fire by Catherine Kerr, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, The Beautiful Cassandra by Jane Austen, Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, Quill by A.C. Cobble, The Barrow by Mark Smiley, The Language Construction Kit by Mark Rosenfelder, The Vampire by Montague Summers, The Law of the Forest by Alexander Porteous, Blood Rain by Helix Parker, The Art of Language Invention by David J. Peterson, Godblind, Dark Soul, and Bloodchild by Anna Stevens, The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, and Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, The Court of Broken Knives, The Tower of Living and Dying, and House of Sacrifice by Anna Smith Spark, Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey, Radiance by Grace Draven, The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller, Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas, Witch Sign, Storm Tide, and Nightfall by Den Patrick, The Girl in the Stars by Mark Lawrence, Before They Are Hanged, Last Arguments of Kings, Best Served Cold, The Heroes, Red Country, Sharp Ends, Half a King, Half the World, Half a War, A Little Hatred, and The Trouble with Peace by Joe Abercrombie. The Alchemist's Kitchen by Glenn Ogilvie, Herbal Healers and Hedgerow Cookbook by Glennie Kindred, Poisonous Plants in Great Britain by Frederick Gillam, Native British Trees by Andy Thompson, The Miracle of Trees by Olavi Hurikari, Nature Spirits by Danu Forrest, A Little History of Dragons by Joyce Hargreaves, Portals by Philippa Lewis, Sun, Moon and Earth by Robin Heath, Ancient English Cathedrals by Mark Mills, Irish Round Towers by Hector MacDonald, Runic Inscriptions by Paul Johnson, Literary Devices by Amy Jones, Euphonics by John Michel, and Grammar by Rachel Grennan, Malice, Valor, Ruin, and Wrath by John Gwynne, The Luminous Dead by Caitlin Starling, Duskfall by Christopher Hosberg, You Die When You Die by Angus Watson, Prince's Gambit, and King's Rising by C.S. Pacat, The Stage Awaits by Jacob Hutner, The Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams, Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams, The Test by Sylvain Nouvelle, Sisters of the Vast Black by Lena Rother, The Traitor God by Cameron Johnston, The Wolf Gift by Anne Rice, Shadow Prowler by Alexei Payhov, The Monk by Matthew Lewis, The Vanished Queen by Elizabeth Campbell, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, The Betrayals by Bridget Collins, Assassin's Apprentice, Assassin's Quest, and Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, Serpentine by Philip Pullman, The Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned by Anne Rice, Cat's Poems by various authors, The Lives of Saints by Leigh Bardugo, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, Seven Blades in Black, and 10 Arrows of Iron by Sam Sykes, The Damned by Renee Adier, The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, Ravencry, and Crowfall by Ed MacDonald, Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, The Dragon Republic, and The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, Furyborn by Claire Legrand, The Black Guard by A.J. Smith, The Lost Words, and The Lost Spells by Robert McFarlane and Jackie Morris, The Calling, and Asunder by David Gader, The Masked Empire by Patrick Weeks, Last Flight by Liane Merciel, The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White, Night Film by Marisha Pessel, Priest of Bones by Peter McLean, Eight Will Fall by Sarah Harrion, The Meaning of Night by Michael Cox, The Vampire Armand, and Memnock the Devil by Anne Rice, Recursion, and Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, Once by James Herbert, The Book of Werewolves by Sabine Baring Gold, The Fifth Season, The Obelisk Gate, and The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, Dracul by Dacre Stoker and J.D. Barker, King of Ashes by Raymond E. Feist, To Winter Nights by Chris Bain, Patrick Weeks, Matthew Goldman and Christopher Morgan, City of Whispers by J.D. L. Russell, Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan, Children of the Night by D.S. Davies, Graceling by Kristen Cashore, The Sunderlands by Anastasia King, Save the Cat Writes a Novel by Jessica Brady, Bloodstained Tea by Amy Tasakada, The Red Knight, The Fell Sword, The Dread Worm, A Plague of Swords, and The Fall of Dragons by Miles Cameron, A Sellsword's Compassion by Jacob Peppers, Skyborn by David Dalglish, It Takes a Thief to Catch a Sunrise by Rob J. Hayes, Prince of Thorns, King of Thorns, Emperor of Thorns, Road Brothers, Prince of Fools, The Liar's Key, and The Wheel of Oshime by Mark Lawrence, The Stormcaller by Tom Lloyd, A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, Scythe, Thunderhead, and The Toll by Neil Schusterman, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, Angel Mage by Garth Nix, Darien by C.F. Iggulden, The Dark Sea Beyond by Rice Obo, and lastly, The Rest is Silence by Chi Rempel. Okay, that was some hard work for me. My room is completely turned upside down. There are books here. There are books here. And somehow I still couldn't find two books that I know that I have, that I know must be here, but I don't know where. Luckily for me, weirdly I remember every single book that I own, so I realised that two of them were not here. I didn't know I had that skill before now. Yes, hopefully I will have kept count in like one of these bottom corners, and I have my grand total. But yes, this is, as of January 2021, this is every single physical book I own that I have not yet read, including the ones that I can't find. And two that I forgot to haul, so yes, I will be trying to get this number down. But yes, that was it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Other than that, I think I should definitely go. I need to clean up. But again, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!